Should I still move to Asheville, North Carolina after the hurricane? I've been asked that question hundreds of times in the past 16 months, and I get it. You saw the headlines, you saw the devastation, maybe you saw Lake Lure completely drained, the River Arts District underwater, whole towns wiped off the map. Here's what you didn't see, what it actually looks like here today. I'm Bill DeVore, and I'm a real estate agent here in Asheville, North Carolina. On September 27th, 2024, Hurricane Helene brought 30 inches of rain to these mountains in just a few days and changed everything. 119 people plus lost their lives in North Carolina alone. Thousands lost their homes and billions in damage. That was 16 months ago. Today, I'm going to tell you the complete story, the absolute worst of what happened, the massive recovery effort, and the truth about what it's actually like right now here in Asheville, North Carolina in 2026. No sugarcoating, just the facts you need to make right now for the right decision for you. Because here's the thing, the story you heard about Asheville, it's not the whole story. September 27th, 2024. That's a date that everyone in Western North Carolina will remember for the rest of their lives. Hurricane Helene made landfall in Florida as a Category 4 hurricane hitting Florida. That happens. But what happened when Helene came north? That was something our mountain communities had never seen. Not in our lifetimes, not in our grandparents' lifetimes. Here's where everything went catastrophically wrong. First, we'd already had days of rain before Helene arrived. The ground was saturated, completely soaked. Second, Helene was carrying twice as much water vapor as any storm on record for our region. And third, the way the storm hit the Blue Ridge Mountains forced all that moisture straight up, wringing out every drop like squeezing a massive sponge over our heads. The numbers are almost incomprehensible. Burnsville and Yancey County, over 30 inches of rain. Mount Mitchell, 24 inches. Asheville Airport, 20 inches. That's months of rainfall in about 48 hours. And then the rivers started rising. The French Broad River, the Shenandoah River, the Rocky Broad River near Lake Lure, they just didn't flow. They exploded out of their banks with a fury that swept entire houses downstream like toys. I want you to picture this. The River Arts District, one of the most vibrant artist communities in the entire country, saw 30 feet of water. 30 feet! That's 3 stories. Buildings that had stood for over a century were filled with toxic mud and debris. 80% of the district gone. Chimney Rock and Lake Lure and Hickory Nut Gorge, the gorge became a 14-mile waterfall, carrying trees, cars, buildings, everything downstream. Communities like Shenandoah, Black Mountain, Marshall, they were all devastated. Let me be blunt, this wasn't just a bad storm. This was a catastrophic, once-in-a-thousand-year event that scientists are still studying because they've never seen anything like it in the mountains. 119 people died in North Carolina, more than the historic 1916 flood that had been our deadliest natural disaster for over a century. Families lost loved ones, children lost parents, entire communities lost their centers, their gathering places, their history, and their sense of home. The damage estimates, over $59 billion for North Carolina alone. Thousands of homes destroyed or damaged. Hundreds of miles of roads washed away. Water treatment plants obliterated. Power out for weeks. No cell phone service. No internet. People were literally cut off from the world. This was biblical level destruction in a place that was supposed to be safe from hurricanes. Now I know that's heavy. And if you're watching this thinking about moving here, you might be ready to click away right now. But don't, because what I'm about to tell you is the part the national media stopped covering about 2 weeks later. They showed you the disaster, they didn't show you what happened next. And what happened next is the real story of Asheville. The recovery effort that has happened in Western North Carolina over the past 16 months is nothing short of extraordinary. I'm not very hyperbolic. I'm talking about a mobilization of resources, community will, and sheer determination that most people will never witness in their lifetime. Water infrastructure. Within hours of the flooding, Asheville had lost 80% of its water capacity. The North Fork Water Treatment Plant, which provides most of the city's water, was severely damaged. The plant in Swannanoa was completely unreachable, surrounded by debris and washed out roads. For nearly 2 months, we had no potable water, none. People were living off bottled water for everything. Drinking, cooking, washing dishes. Businesses couldn't open, restaurants couldn't serve. It was a daily challenge just to maintain basic hygiene. But here's what happened. The Army Corps of Engineers rolled in with temporary pre-treatment systems. Crews worked 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week. The community rallied. And on November 18th, 2024, exactly 52 days after the storm, the boil water notice was lifted. People cried, literally stood at their sinks and cried when clean water came out of their taps again. Today, the water system is functional. The city has received $225 million in federal disaster recovery funds, and a huge portion is going toward making our water infrastructure virtually hurricane-proof. They're not just rebuilding, they're building it back better, stronger, and more resilient. Between Interstate 40 and Tennessee and North Carolina, a major artery got absolutely hammered. Sections of it are still being rebuilt. The detours add hours to some trips, but the North Carolina DOT has been relentless. Hundreds of roads that were completely gone, washed into rivers, buried under landslides, are back. The main routes, functional, yes. You'll see construction, yes, there are still some mountain roads being repaired, but you can get around. You can get to work, and you can live your life. The housing market, now here's where it gets interesting. About 3,200 homes in the Asheville area were damaged or destroyed. It's a massive number. About 15% of residents were temporarily displaced. So the housing market, did the housing market collapse? No, it did not. Let me be blunt again. The Asheville housing market is one of the most resilient markets I've ever seen in my entire career. And I've been doing this through multiple economic cycles. Fourth quarter 2024, yes, sales dropped. People were focused on survival, buying houses. But by 2025, just 3 months later, sales rebounded hard. The third and fourth quarters of 2025 actually exceeded previous years. Median home prices have went from $488,000 in 2024 to $500,000 in 2025. Inventories increased, which is actually good for buyers, and we're sitting at about 6 months of supply. That's a balanced, healthy market. Here's what's happening. Some people left. Some short-term rental owners sold their properties. That created inventory. But at the same time, people are still moving here. Remote workers are still coming. In fact, we've seen a 7% increase in remote worker relocations since January 2025. Why? Because they saw how this community responded to disaster, and it made them want to be a part of it even more. Now, and this is important, properties in actual flood zones face different realities. Insurance is higher, permits are stricter, flood mitigation is required. The River Arts District, areas right along the river, those are being rebuilt with elevation, flood-resistant materials, and much, much higher standards. But the vast majority of Asheville and the surrounding communities never flooded, didn't have water damage, business as usual. Tourism is 20% of our economy, $3 billion annually. We lost the entire peak of the fall season of 2024. It was devastating for businesses. Fast forward to summer 2025, we hit 85% of our pre-hurricane tourism levels. The Biltmore Estate, which suffered significant damage, reopened for Christmas 2024. Downtown is packed. Breweries are thriving. Restaurants have lines out the door again. As I'm recording this in February 2026, Asheville is alive. The energy is back. Yes, you'll see some construction, some empty storefronts that are being rebuilt, but walk downtown and tell me the city is dead. You can't, because it's not. The Asheville River Arts District. This one's personal. 80% of artist studios were destroyed. Over 300 artists lost not just their workspace, but their life's work. Decades of art, gone. in just a matter of hours. I'm not gonna lie to you, that hurt. That hurt the soul of this city. But artists are some of the most resilient people on earth. The River Arts District Artist Foundation is building a creative campus on higher ground, flood safe, permanent, and designed to ensure this never happens again. Studios are reopening. New galleries are popping up. Salvage Station music venue is rebuilding in a new location right in the heart of the district. The arts didn't die, they adapted. Let's talk about Lake Lure, because I know a lot of you vacation there or have thought about buying a property. Lake Lure got destroyed, absolutely destroyed. The Hickory Nut Gorge turned into a raging river. It dumped 15 inches of rain plus debris from Chimney Rock into the lake. The lake filled with thousands of pounds of sand, silt, and debris. They had to drain it 20 feet down, the lowest it's been since it was created almost a century ago. The Flowering Bridge, a beloved landmark, is being demolished because it's beyond repair. Here's the amazing part though. Lake Lure is refilling right now as we speak. As I'm recording this, they're actively filling the lake. Water quality is safe. The Army Corps finished their cleanup and they're targeting Memorial Day weekend 2026 for full reopening to swimmers and boaters. The mayor said it best. Our lake, our namesake, our refuge, and our economic lifeline is coming back stronger than ever. Business owners stayed, they didn't abandon ship. They renovated, they prepared. They're ready for summer 2026. That's resilience. Over $555 million in FEMA assistance has been provided to individuals. Over $380 million in Small Business Administration loans, $225 million in HUD disaster recovery funds just for Asheville. North Carolina requested $25.6 billion total, and the money is flowing. This isn't just local grit. This is massive federal support backing up a community that refused to quit. Okay, enough history. Let's talk about right now. If you came to Asheville today, right now, February 2026, here's what you'd see. Downtown is bustling. Coffee shops are full. Breweries are packed. Trails are full of hikers. The French Broad River is beautiful, and the mountains are still here. In large parts of the city, you honestly wouldn't know a hurricane came through. But let's be real. You also see construction projects, buildings being rebuilt, infrastructure work. Some areas are still visibly recovering. This isn't a cover-up. The recovery is ongoing and visible. The water is safe, the power is on, communications work, daily life is normal. So your real estate considerations. I want you to pay attention here. If you're thinking about moving to Asheville, here's what you absolutely need to know. 1, not all of Western North Carolina flooded. I need you to hear that. The flooding was concentrated in river valleys and specific areas. Huge portions of Asheville were completely unaffected. 2, flood zone awareness is now non-negotiable. If you're looking at properties, you need to know the flood risk, period. We help every client understand flood zones, insurance requirements, elevation, and mitigation measures. This isn't optional anymore. 3, insurance has changed. Flood insurance is now required in more areas. Premiums are higher in flood-prone zones. This affects your monthly costs. 4, building standards are way higher. New construction is being elevated. Flood-resistant materials are standard, and the housing stock being built now is more resilient than what was here before. 5, the city is investing heavily in its own infrastructure. Better water systems, improved stormwater management, enhanced emergency preparedness. The region is being fortified. So the question everyone asks me, is it safe to move here? Yes. And here's a bold statement. Asheville is safer now than it was before Helene. That sounds crazy, but it's true. The infrastructure is being upgraded. Building codes are stricter. Emergency systems are better. And people are educated about risks in ways they never were before. Will it happen again? Let me be honest. Any place can have natural disasters. California has earthquakes and wildfires. The Midwest, they have tornadoes. The coast has hurricanes. Florida has everything. Asheville doesn't get regular hurricanes. We don't have tornado alleys. We don't have wildfire seasons. This was a once-in-a-thousand-year convergence of conditions. Could another bad storm happen? Sure. Could it be this bad again? Statistically, extraordinarily unlikely. And now we're prepared in ways we never were before. What about property values? They're stable and they're growing. We're not seeing a collapse. We're seeing a healthy, balanced market with continued demand from people who believe in this place. Let me be blunt for a moment. I'm going to tell you something that might cost me some business, but you deserve to hear it. Hurricane Helene was traumatic. It was devastating. It was deadly. If you move here, you're moving to a community that went through profound loss. You'll see memorials. You'll meet people who lost family members. You'll hear stories that break your heart. You'll see houses that still have high water marks on them. The trauma is part of our story now. It's part of who we are. But here's the other truth. This community showed up for others in ways that we've never seen. Neighbors helping strangers. Businesses feeding people for free. Volunteers coming from everywhere. People giving their time, their money, their sweat, and their tears. I watched a community that could have been broken. Instead, they became stronger. Asheville is not a disaster zone. It's a healing place. And it's healing with incredible determination, creativity, and heart. The real estate market works. New homes are being built. Businesses are opening. Tourism is recovering. And the arts are thriving. The mountains. The reason people fall in love with this place, they're still here. Still beautiful. And still calling people home. So here's my answer to the question I started with. Should I still move to Asheville in 2026? My answer is yes. But only if you do so with your eyes wide open. Don't move here with rose-colored glasses. Understand what happened. Understand that recovery is ongoing. Understand the risks. Ask the hard questions about flood zones, insurance, elevation, and infrastructure. Work with someone, whether it's me or another agent, who knows this market inside and out, who lived through this, who could show you the differences between a property in a flood zone and one that's completely safe, who won't BS you into taking risks, but also understands this, that Asheville is still one of the most desirable places to live in the country. The natural beauty didn't go anywhere. The culture is still vibrant, and the community is stronger than ever. The quality of life that attracted people here for decades, it's still here. The region has been through something that will be in history books forever, but it's defined by its response, not by its trauma. If you're serious about relocating here, I want to help you do it right. I can give you detailed neighborhood information, flood zones, infrastructure status, market conditions, everything you need to make a smart decision. Drop your questions in the comments. Reach out to me directly. Let's talk about whether Asheville is the right fit for you. Thanks for watching today. If this was helpful, hit that thumbs up and subscribe for real, honest real estate content about Western North Carolina. And remember, this community has been through hell, but it's still here, still beautiful, and still absolutely worth calling home. I'll see you in the next video.